Hello, folks. Richard Moore, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association, on YouTube as well as Facebook. I encourage you to visit also my platform on Quora is US Anti-Gang Stalking, and on Instagram, all lowercase, Richard_Moore_TI. So I want to briefly speak about taking legal action against criminal stalking. There's a host of ideas that I continuously see that are tossed out there, and people's ideas of what can I do, what am I supposed to do, how can you combat this thing, so forth and so on. So I'm going to give you the short of it if possible, or at least give you my take on it, or what I'm doing personally. Once you understand that this is a program that is funded by taxpayer dollars through the Department of Justice in part, and that those funds are doled out under community-oriented policing through grant money. And then we have to understand that who is running this program on a local basis. That's going to be your chief of police and or your local sheriff, respectively. That's your that's the bottom line. They're the chief law enforcement officers of that city and county. And then the next falls into the attorney general for your state, which they are in fact the chief law enforcement officers of your state. That is where you begin. How do you connect the dots? One of the best ways, if many victims have made complaints and then be gaslighted by law enforcement, and somehow they become the criminal. This is old hat. This is how the program works to criminalize the victim, to make the victim look as if they're suffering some type of psychosis or they've done something wrong, and therefore they need to be either charged, ignored, dismissed, marginalized, or what have you. Many of you have been arrested for petty crimes and so forth and so on. And I like referring back to the Pasco County. And I was going to pull it up and read it, but I'm going to say that the Pasco County, Florida lawsuit with the Institute of Justice has brought this civil lawsuit against Chris Nicola, the sheriff of Pasco County, and they are absolutely punishing citizens for crimes they have yet to commit. This is their predictive policing program. Each community or each municipality, county, they have their own pet names. They're given this leeway uh, to cloak what they're actually doing, but it's all the same deal. It's a very organized national program, and the logistics and the data and all this is made possible through Department of Homeland Security fusion centers. They fuse all this data together, hence the fusion center. Step one, if you haven't made a complaint with law enforcement and say, well, I'm not going to do anything, I've tried. No, 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 no. It's not what I said. You make that criminal complaint of this happening, that happening, what have you. Or you may have already been charged or convicted or arrested or what have you for something you didn't do. They have a proclivity to criminalize, once again, the victim, to wear them out, to beat them down through the judicial system. People ask, well, this for innocent bystanders. Well, if they did something wrong, that they hadn't been arrested, why aren't they being charged? Well, one of the answers is, well, we're doing it a different way. Through our community-oriented policing program, we're discouraging this behavior X, Y, Z, and you fill in the blanks. In other words, what they're saying is we have developed a plan successfully to circumvent due process. And we'll get bogged down in the judicial system and so forth. The only time a true individual that is targeted by this evil program, this corrupt and very illegal program, if they're charged, then they get the liberty of being dragged and abused by the judicial system. And this is through corrupt prosecutors like we have in North Mississippi. Ben Creekmore is one of them, and he's got a long list of and has no problems. I have lodged hundreds of telephone calls complaining law enforcement on every level over the past few years. Officially made dozens of complaints, all to no avail. This is with photographic evidence of people shooting at me, shooting the windows out of my vehicle, breaking in my home, filming them while they were breaking in my home, and no arrests have been made. Now, when you make the complaint with law enforcement and they do nothing, they are simply rubber stamping criminal behavior. Their silence is absolute consent in crimes committed against the citizen. Now, these crash dummy, creepy stalkers work for and with the community policing program. Therefore, they are state actors. Now, go to your local, federal, district court website and research filing a 1983 civil lawsuit. You can do this yourself. Don't waste your time trying to get an attorney. You don't need one. You know more about your case than the attorney does, and good luck with finding an attorney. I have 3 cases in currently against state actors and corrupt law enforcement with court dates. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be an easy fight. I'm here to help those that need help, tutoring or what have you. I'll help you get from point A to point B. This is what we do here at the United States Anti-Stalking Association. For those that are clueless about what we really are doing here, I want to do 2 things. I want to advocate for the rights of victims as loudly and boldly as possible on a platform, not on social media, but in a federal courtroom. Number 2, we're going to expose the exploiters, those that are exploiting other human beings through this program. And we expose this, one, by filing in 1983. This is where your civil and constitutional rights have in fact been violated. So you go to your federal district court that's in your area, representing yourself pro se. That means you're representing yourself, and then you have the local rules and procedures of the courts, and you can research. And one good place is absolutely you won't have any trouble researching the different violations that pair with what you're experiencing as a targeted individual. You file that paperwork. If you don't have the money, then you can file to proceed informa pauperis, which means you don't have the money to pay. And so it's not quite as lengthy as a financial statement, but you'll do the checks and balances on that. And if you don't fall into that category, then you're going to have to pay around $400, $500, $600, and then a little bit more for your private service to have these people served. And I will help those that do need the help the best I can. That's one of the objectives when I mentioned becoming a Patreon. If you become a Patreon, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. Once you become a Patreon, you get more exclusive and better access to, uh, to my assistance if that assistance is needed. Also, you're supporting what we're doing. The cases that I have now in federal court, and this is not, this is only the beginning. We've only just begun. I can promise you, we've only just begun. They've taken our voice. They have absolutely stripped the victim of any possible avenue of no answers. They conquer with confusion. So we have to keep what we're doing simple. You can't bring everything to the table. You bring it one step at a time, one court at a time, and one charge at a time. As in Pasco County, this civil litigation has triggered a criminal investigation against the sheriff, Chris Nicola, for misuse of federal funds. This is our intention, is for these civil proceedings to trigger criminal proceedings against the corrupt officials and bad state actors involved in misuse of federal funds, federal grant money via the community-oriented policing program. This is the objective. This is the objective. It's not about banners, signs, bumper stickers, t-shirts, or who's got the biggest support group. It's about who is sick and tired of being sick and tired and ready to take the bull by the horns and move forward, no matter the cost, move forward and pursue this in the proper place. And as a constitutional civil rights violations can only properly be addressed in a federal courtroom. Not there is no administrative remedy process or multiple steps that one must take to go from point A to point B. You can go from right now to federal court. This is a constitutional question that we're going to ask over and over and over again. Did I waive my constitutional rights? Did I waive my inalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Because I don't recall doing that. And that inalienable right means it can't be taken away, given away, or signed off, but yet thousands, hundreds of thousands are not able to enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We've become prisoners in our own homes. We've been forced into homelessness, unemployment. Our families have been destroyed, wrongfully arrested, wrongfully convicted. And the list goes on, and many, and I mean many, have taken their own lives. They've given up hope. There's no hope left. There is hope. There is hope. I'll say it, and I'll say it now, as I've always said. Our only true hope is in the finished work of Jesus Christ and His work and what He did at Calvary's cross. That's where our true hope lies. And as a soldier of the cross, as a born again Christian, it's my duty to to absolutely broadcast the good news, and not only that, but fight the good fight of faith. God did not call me to stand down and shut up and not expose the corruption and evil that is going on in this country today and the world over. We must become more proactive in what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Without that, without more soldiers and more people that are willing to set aside the past, set aside what is being done because it will continue, and quit spending so much time on the damage that's been done and start spending more time on taking the fight to where it needs to be taken. When this begins across the nation, we will see change. They will change the way they do business. I will guarantee you that. They will have to spend loads of money, which they've already done in my case, on attorneys to fight. At some point in the game, it's not cost conducive for them to continue to pour millions of dollars into a program that is based and built on a very flawed platform. And this flawed platform is when you deprive another individual of their civil and constitutional civil liberties, my friends, you are a criminal. There's no way to justify what you're doing. We're going to continuously raise this question in federal court. Will we win every one of them? No. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, ladies and gentlemen. It's about how many times you get back up. We've been knocked down many of times, but this old boy's going to keep getting back up. I'll be remembered for how many times I got back up, not for how many times I got knocked down. I'm not keeping count. The world didn't keep count at Babe Ruth how many times he struck out, but they did keep up with the home runs. And I can see Babe Ruth now as the crowd laughs and he's overweight and washed up, and he walks out to the plate. He points to the grandstand. It was funny until he knocked it out of the grandstand. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're going to do. Many people go to their grave with their sweetest music still unplayed. I hope that through what we do, that we awaken, that I awaken the sleeping giant that lies within many of you that have it, but you've yet to wake up. You have yet to realize, you know what? It's time to stop complaining and start doing something about it. I've given you a great place to start. Today, this can be the first day of the rest of your life to make a decision. I'm going to turn around. Enough is enough. Share my channel, YouTube, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. Comment in the comment section. I also want to hear your story. We definitely, I don't want anyone thinking, what if? I don't want to leave this world and my story not being told. I want to tell your story, and I want to hear from you and give you an opportunity to tell your story. And we'll make it public and make sure that the world knows about what happened and what you've experienced. But moreover, you can tell your story to let the other people know that yes, they're not alone. Yes, there is hope. Yes, we can win. Yes, we will win. I still believe in God and country and the Constitution not being just a historical document in the Smithsonian Institute. I still believe that even though our system is flawed, it is the best in the world, and I believe that justice will prevail. It will only do it if we take the fight to them. Let me hear from you. We have an active GoFundMe. Without the support of my listeners, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Moore would not be here. We would not be doing the things that we're doing. The cases, these federal cases that we have right now in the Northern District Court in North Mississippi, this is a federal court and it has national ramifications. Make no mistake about it. What we're doing is not on a local level. And I will continue to name the names of those people that are online and in social media and in political office, no matter where you are. When you rear your head, these corrupt individuals, I will submit no words. You will be exposed. What is going on is wrong. People are dying. People are oppressed. And we will not stop until we know and realize there is such a thing as equal protection. We've been denied equal protection. It's high time we start demanding equal protection. Until next time, God bless you.